of course, you all know that from your history. And I'll just let you know one really interesting statistic, that 67% of the SAS are Scottish. Okay? That makes me proud with my roots. I hope it makes some of you proud as well. Why, you might ask yourself? That's a very interesting question, but there it is. So, where did the roots of positive leadership lie for me? Why is it relevant to you? The only reason that picture is up there of me with Princess Diana is because it's a picture of me with Princess Diana. Yeah.
Green Beret.
It was a good egg, a person with empathy, definitely, and taught me some lessons while we worked with Centrepoint, which was a place for people who were disadvantaged in London, who were homeless, and I led a couple of expeditions with Princess Diana as the patron. But going back to the Falklands, when some of you were not born, 1982, we got sent off, Margaret Thatcher sent us off on a military adventure, so to speak, down to the South Atlantic. And I found myself in charge of some 100 Marines, Royal Marine Commandos, tough guys, wear green berets. I was only 23 years of age. Anybody in the audience under 23 or around about 23? Hands up. Oh, quite a few. Okay, so imagine yourself, you're off down to the Falklands on this big white ship, you've got 100 Marines to look after, you've sharpened your bayonet, you've loaded your rifle. What's going to happen? Suddenly it dawns upon you that they've left their mothers and their fathers and their wives and their families, and you as their boss, and now the person who's looking after them. You're now their mother, their father, their sister, their brother, someone they're going to cry, a shoulder to cry on. And suddenly you start to realise that this mantra, this mantra of leadership is more than just being out in front, you know, pushing forward. Come on lads, let's go. Suddenly you realise that there's this huge moral factor to it, of looking after people, looking after people's interests. My main mission getting down there was to bring them all back. Survivability. It was also to unlock potential in every single person, because we all relied on each other. If one of you mentored somebody else in this room, we split the room, the 1,000 people that are here, we would solve 500 problems just like that. With my Marines, 100 men, I had to get them to be in each other's heads. And I think, that's the fire alarm. Don't worry, don't panic. It's all right. Hopefully it'll go off in a minute. Anyway, so my 100 Marines, I'm having to get them to be in each other's head because we all want to come back from this operation in the South Atlantic, this scary thing that we're going to do. So we get there, and we go on a big ship called the Canberra. Luckily, it was diverted from the West Indies and had 500 tons of alcohol on board. So at least, as far as Ascension Island, we were pretty drunk and happy. Left Ascension Island and the ship became dry. And when we got down to the Falklands, this cold place in the South Atlantic, where there are penguins and icebergs and you know, Welsh sheep farmers, and it's a fairly bizarre place, as you can imagine. But we are there to liberate them. We've got a mission, we're going to get on with it. We land, we spend 2 weeks being strafed by aircraft with the Argentinians dropping bombs on us. I lose my radio operator. A bit of black humour here. I was actually talking to him for 3 hours before I realised he was dead, because he got a cannon shell through the chest, and then I shook him at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and realised the poor fellow had gone. So we're down to 99% now. I'm on the phone to the boss. We've been here for 2 weeks. Our nails are split, our feet are frozen. We need to move on. Can I have some clarity, please? Nothing. No reply. The upward communication seems to have come to a halt. If upward communication ceases, then people start to get edgy. They think that the hierarchy doesn't care. They become agitated. We start to generate a blame culture. My job as leader to try and get back to a level playing field. We can't have blame culture because we need to go and fight a battle. Eventually. When will that be? I pick up the phone again. We're still cold, sir. We're still wet. When are we going to move? Nothing. No clarity. Clarity. Don't leave home without it. But I can't get it from my boss. Eventually I get a message, fly to grid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and land, and I'm going, yes, and do what? Don't know. No unified purpose. What do I tell the team? They need to have a unified purpose, they need to have clarity. They feel inspired, they need to feel empowered. We're just not getting it, are we? We're just not getting it. So we fly forward and we land. And what do we see when we land? A burning ship. In fact, yesterday I was on the phone to a guy called Simon Weston. You might have heard of him. Horribly burned.